What up is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads. We are giving you an update on one of the most important questions, or one of the most interesting questions, I guess it would be, is where's Trevor Lawrence going to go? And not in a Superflex league. We know where he's going in a Superflex league. And if you don't, well, we're going to talk about what it would take to get 101, because it's going to take you a lot. Hopefully you have a firstborn child or something, because that's what it's going to take to get Trevor Lawrence at 101. Anyways, this is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads. We give you daily content. If you want this Brandon Ayuk jersey, please subscribe for the chance. It's all signed and all that. So we're going to go through it right now. All right, Trevor Lawrence, we're going to go, first of all, what's his, I guess, analytics, or what is his, he's 6'6", he's 220 pounds, he's prototypical, he's athletic. So when you talk about, oh my goodness, he's like this really good, accurate quarterback with power in his arm and just can make every single throw, and he can run a 4.6 40-ish. Like, he's actually athletic, he's mobile. I mean, we are talking about like the next potential generational talents. And I mean, everyone's talking about it. We already know that he is going to be picked 101 from the Jags. And if the Jags do anything crazy, or if you owners do anything crazy in 101 in Superflex, then shame on you. Trevor Lawrence is the pick. But let's just go through his stats here. 66% in passing, 90 touchdowns, 17 picks, over 10,000 yards passing at Clemson. I mean, he's absolutely amazing. National champion. I don't know what else you would want from him. I mean, realistically, he's done everything, and he's been like the next big thing. So where's Trevor Lawrence going average in draft right now? Let's just go briefly through this in non-Superflex. He's 9.9 and 9.5. And 9.7. So you're just talking about pick 9 to 10. And I think that's a really good place for Trevor Lawrence. And the reason for that is you're going to have some running backs and wide receivers, and even Kyle Pitts ahead of him. We look at the 2020 draft, and where would you put Justin Herbert? Knowing what you got from Justin Herbert, would you put him above Justin Jefferson, J.K. Dobbins, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, CEH, CeeDee Lamb? Probably not. You're probably not putting him above those players, because you know that quarterbacks, value-based drafting, you're going to be able to replace some of that value with a different quarterback. Like, what's the difference between Herbert and Kirk Cousins, or Herbert and some other like Baker Mayfield? And so when we talk about that, when we look about that, you're talking about Herbert still not going to be a top 6-7 pick. And so that's where I can see Trevor Lawrence having a really good rookie year, but not still gaining a ton of value. So I'm going to compare him to the past prodigy, Mr. Andrew Luck. And so Andrew Luck, if you look at his rookie season, so he started all 16 games, which I think Trevor Lawrence easily will, unless he gets hurt. We're talking about over 4,300 yards, 4,374, 23 touchdowns, and 18 interceptions. I could easily see that as being a very similar line that Trevor Lawrence has. Lots of yards. He's going to be trying to catch up in games. And honestly, he's going to make some mistakes. Maybe he has a little less picks, but I don't think he's going to have 35 touchdowns or anything crazy. Andrew Luck was position 10. Awesome start to his young career. And I think that's where Trevor Lawrence is going to start. He's going to start 8, 9, 10, somewhere around that area, and we're going to be plenty fine. But then we look at where Andrew Luck started to compete afterwards. In 2013, Luck was 4th. Then he was 2nd. Then he got hurt, so we'll just say 28th, but he only played half the season. Then he was 4th and 5th. So let's just say all his healthy years, he was 10th, 4th, 2nd, 4th, 5th. So you're talking about if you have a top 5 quarterback that hopefully doesn't retire early, I mean, we're talking about a quarterback that may not compete with Pat Mahomes and whoever the other 1 or 2 quarterbacks that skyrocket at that point. Maybe it's Josh Allen, or maybe it's Dak or Deshaun Watson. Maybe Lawrence doesn't compete that highly the first year, 2, 3 years here. But we were talking about a quarterback that still can finish 4th, 5th, 6th, like right around that area. And you're talking about for maybe potentially 10 to 15 years. I mean, that's crazy to think about in fantasy, but you're talking about somebody that you can have for a long time. So Trevor Lawrence, in my mind, he's right now is 9th for me. And it may change depending on if some of these landing spots for running backs or wide receivers or Pitts is bad. Then I could easily see a team that doesn't have a great quarterback in non-Superflex drafting him earlier. Because I have a kind of a tier. And my tier is Gainwell, Pitts, Lawrence, and Bateman. And they're all different positions, but they're positions that I feel like they're talented-wise. They're kind of tier. Like, I feel like they're all kind of together. Like, well, I like different things about each one of those players, and then I dislike certain things. Like Pitts, I think he's going to be awesome, but I also think that tight ends develop slowly. Lawrence, it's just value-based there. Gainwell, more risk. Bateman, well, I mean, we haven't really seen it from a U of M wide receiver, and he doesn't, he's not elite in any ability, but he's decent at almost everything. So we're talking Kenny Golladay type. Which would you rather have? If you're at pick 7 and you don't have a quarterback, draft Lawrence. I think it's going to be an easy pick there. And that's why you're going to see Lawrence between pick 7 and pick like 10. And so if you are a team that is a non-superflex and you're looking to try to trade, if you have pick 11 or 12, I think it's a big, huge gap. Please, if you're at pick 11 or 12, trade into the top 10. There's a huge drop-off after 10. There's Rondell Moore, and then there's Jalen Waddle and stuff like that too. But like, there's gonna be a bad position too. There's gonna be a player stuck on a horrible team. Move into the top 10, get into this tier here. I think it's gonna be super important. And a lot of people are probably yelling at me saying Jalen Waddle's up there too, and I'm like, nah, Jalen Waddle's not in that tier for me. But anyways, so what is it gonna take to get 101 Superflex? It's gonna take a quarterback plus like a first round pick. And what kind of quarterback I'm thinking is probably like a Baker plus a mid first. Or you're going to need like 102 and like a mid first. Like, I mean, you're talking like 102 and 106 or 7. Because honestly, it's going to be Trevor Lawrence, or you're going to get like Justin Fields. And if you're at pick like 106, 107, you're talking maybe like a Chase or a Javonte Williams. Like, you're going to have to give up that. Because Trevor Lawrence is by far, and I think it was Chris Sims had Trevor Lawrence not even as his first quarterback. Like, just, oh man, that just frustrates me because that's just like clickbait right there. Come on, just stop it. Like, stop trying to be somebody who you're not. Like, or just stop trying to be different. Like, we know that Trevor Lawrence is clearly the best quarterback in this class, at least when you look at his profile as a collegiate quarterback and beyond. So, anyways. So, Trevor Lawrence, you're going to need, to get him, to get at 101, you're going to need a decent quarterback like Baker Mayfield. I'm trying to think of any other, like, quarterbacks around that range that I would package. Because, I mean, like, Kirk, you're going to have to add probably even a closer first. Or even, like, Hurts. I personally wouldn't want Hurts and a mid-first for Lawrence. I'd rather just keep Lawrence at that point. So, I mean, you're going to really need to add a quarterback. And, I mean, if it's like Hurts, you're going to need to add Hurts, a mid-first, and maybe even a second. And people are like, oh, my goodness, that's a lot and too much. And I'm like, no. I mean, in Trevor Lawrence, you might have him, again, a top 5, 6, 7 quarterback. And, like, what does it pay to get Josh Allen? Yeah, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg and a firstborn child, potentially. And you have 2 kidneys, so maybe one of those. So it's going to cost you a lot in Superflex. But this is probably the time this is probably getting to be that time to do it. It's either now or you wait until a couple of games into the season that Trevor Lawrence is maybe struggling. And if you have one of the other quarterbacks or whatever, you can just try to package and just buy in. Because Trevor Lawrence, I think, is a can't-miss prospect. That's what I think. All right, so recap. Trevor Lawrence, really good. Still going to be really good. Always is going to be really good. Anyways, he's probably going to be around pick 9. He's in a kind of a tier between 7 and 10. I think that's where he's going to be. I think that's, if you're past that, if you're in pick 11 or 12 or whatever in non-superflex, I think you need to start thinking about packaging up to getting a quarterback if you don't have one, or if you don't have an elite one. If, let's say, you had Mitchell Trubisky and Foles or something, which is a horrible way to have your, I don't know how you got pick 11 and you have that. Maybe you somehow competed with everybody else in your roster. I would start packaging and moving up and trying to get into this area. I don't want Justin Fields. I don't want Zach Wilson. It's not like I don't like them. I don't, even Trey Lance. I like those quarterbacks, but they are a different tier besides Trevor Lawrence. So this is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads. We're going to be doing a free jersey giveaway. There we go. So if you want this, please subscribe and you have a chance to win it. All right, this is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads. Peace out. See you tomorrow.